Moving on, question number 4. Wow, this is a good one from Martin. I'm not sure whether I should do these webinars with a glass of water or a glass of beer, maybe on a Wednesday afternoon, but let's see how we get on answering this one. So Martin asks, should we sell our house and rent instead and use the equity to pay our rent? We're concerned about not being able to pay our bills and mortgage as the cost of living rises. We've been managing fine as we budgeted for everything, at least we thought so. When we took out our mortgage 5 years ago, we're in our 50s and not sure whether to ride it out until things return to normal and just cut back on everything in the hope we will claw it back when house prices rise once again, or get out now and maybe also invest into something else, not property. What do you think? Okay, Martin, that's a really interesting question, and I feel for you, as with everybody that's in this position right now with rising cost of living, and I feel there's 2 ways I can answer this, and I feel very aggrieved, quite frankly, that we're being forced into this position where we're having to pay more for utilities and particularly petrol prices, etc., when the wholesale markets are showing that the raw costs of materials are a lot less than they were earlier on, which has caused this sort of alleged rise in wholesale gas costs and all the rest of it. So, look, should you sell your house and rent it and rent instead and use your equity to pay the rent? I think that's a dangerous strategy personally. Okay, you would use your income to pay the rent. Okay, that's a different thing entirely. But to take a cash lump sum from your equity and use that to pay your rent, I would say is a dicey strategy. And look, I'm a risk taker, Martin. I'm that kind of person that likes to take risks and all the rest of it. But I think what the question underlying says to me, Martin, really is you're kind of looking for certainty in an uncertain world. And this is a problem that we have, is that we kind of want everything to stay the same, right? This is a human psychological thing. We want everything to stay the same. And any change that comes along, especially once we plan for it, kind of throws us into a quandary. And this is why I'm not really much of a planner, and I am a bit more of a risk taker, because I have this self-belief that kind of says, no matter what happens, I'll deal with it. Okay, and I've gone through some fairly big challenges recently and in the past. And my view has always been, okay, I'll deal with it. And you kind of go through these challenges and they work out, okay? Now, in your situation, I would, depending upon your risk profile, I probably wouldn't sell if I was in your position, okay? Because you're going to lose your foot on the housing ladder, and your home, and I'm looking at this from an investment perspective, your home isn't an investment really, okay? It's where you live. And even though we're taught that our home is our biggest asset, which is what Robert Kiyosaki talks about in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, your home isn't actually an asset. And this is going to, pardon my language, piss a lot of people off when I say this, because we're always told that our home is our biggest asset, right? And Robert Kiyosaki looks at the definition of an asset in a very different way. And he says that your home, that an asset, I'll start with an asset first of all. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. That's his literal definition of an asset. And I agree with that, okay? Whereas a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket each and every month, okay? Now, if you think about your home, does that put money in your pocket every single month, or does it take money out of your pocket every single month? And for most people, the overwhelming amount of people, your home is not an asset for you, all right? It's actually the bank's asset. Because for the bank, it produces money every single month, all right? But for the rest of us, our homes are really our liabilities. And as I say, that's going to piss a lot of people off, and I make no apologies for it, because it's a different way of looking at things. And I actually think it's quite right, because we've been taught this model of where we hold all of our wealth in one particular vehicle, which is our main home. And actually, it prevents us from looking at a wider field of, well, what other options are there perhaps for me to go out there and either start investing or actually to generate other income. And for me, the way out of all of this for a lot of people is to look at what you can do to bring in more revenue, okay, or more income. Because never in the history of the world have we had more opportunities available to us at our fingertips than ever before. And that can be in the form of accessing the internet through our mobile phones, or through our laptops or whatever it might be, the information age or the availability of access to the internet has brought about a wealth of opportunity. But the problem is, how do you recognize a good opportunity from a wrong one that might end up with you being scammed? And I think the point of what I'm trying to say here, Martin, is your home is your home is your home, and that should be, in Englishman's home is his castle. It should be protected and looked after. Your outgoings and your income is what really needs looking at, all right? And so your income needs to be topped up because your expenses have actually gone up. And, you can look at reducing your expenses, but you're never going to get to a point of being rich, and maybe that's not your objective in life, but you're never going to get to a point of being rich or wealthy if your income is only marginally more than your expenses. So you've got to look at ways at how to increase your income that will help you to balance this equation. And I've got to be careful that I don't sound like a Conservative Party member when I say this, because apparently there was somebody in the press recently who got slaughtered for saying, this is an opportunity for people to get better paying jobs. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that there are potential avenues that you can look at that will help you to generate more income. There are obviously opportunities that you can look at to reduce your expenses, such as solar panels and all that sort of thing, but that's a sort of longer term play in terms of paying down your expenses or getting off the grid altogether, versus the opportunity to bring in more income. And I'll just throw it out there because this is one of our exciting announcements that I was going to make a little bit later on, but seeing as we're on the question, Martin, I'll announce it now that WiggyWam as a property platform are actually launching our own affiliate system. And we've done this partly because we'd rather the sort of raving fans of WiggyWam, if you like, benefit financially from supporting us rather than the money going into a shareholder's pocket. I'd much rather it be that way, to be honest with you, because I think that's fair. It's sort of democratizing cash in that respect, or democratizing wealth. So I'd rather it be built in that manner than actually going into shareholders' pockets. That's the first thing I'm going to say on that. But the opportunity is there for, if you like what we're about, Martin, and you think that we're kind of going places, and you'd like to be part of that journey, then I'd encourage you to join our affiliate system, because we have a certain number of places that we're not going to offer to everybody, but the initial influx of affiliates are going to be rewarded very, very well financially for the work that they do in supporting us in our journey and bringing more people on board with what we're doing. So I'm really excited about that. And again, we've done that with a mind to this cost of living crisis that people are being hounded with by the media, and it is really worrying. I do appreciate that, and not everybody is in a position to look at bringing in more income. I do appreciate that, and I do feel for everybody in this position, because maybe I shouldn't say this, but I do actually pray every night that people are able to overcome this opportunity, this challenge, because I do see a lot of people struggling. I do see a lot of people suffering, and I'm getting a bit emotional about this, because I do see it where you've got elderly people that are in. That are in. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to get this involved, but you do see it on social media with people saying about their parents that are either incapacitated or they live in a home and they're literally having to choose between eating or actually turning the heat on that sort of thing as well. So I won't go on about this too much, Martin, because I'm getting a bit overwhelmed. I'm sorry, it's just caught me off guard completely, but I do think that is an opportunity that, if it resonates with you and you think you like what we're all about, then please get on board with that, and I'd love to help you out. And again, anybody else watching this who wants to be involved and become a mover and shaker of WiggyWam and become one of our raving fans, then I'd love to have you on board as far as that's concerned. So hope that helps, Martin. And yeah, anything I can do to support you, please let me know. All right. So thanks for the question, and thanks for making me emotional. Okay. Anything else that you need in terms of any questions answered, or any kind of support that you need with any property deals that you've got going on, or anything like that, please do reach out. Please get in contact with us. Happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk with our Twitter handle as well, which is at wiggywam _UK. And we'd love to have those questions come in. You can also go to our WiggyWam website, which is wiggywam.co.uk, and you can set yourself up a free profile in there. You can have a roam around. You can get access to our learning center where we share a lot of invaluable information in there for you, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, we're trying our best to give as much knowledge, education, resources as we possibly can to people to really help them on their journey, because I know what it can be like. It can be a nightmare trying to buy a property or sell a property or all the rest of it. And we just want to help and support as many people as possible. We also want to align ourselves with those estate agents and those solicitors that are delivering excellence to their clients on a daily basis. Okay. And we've got some really cool things lined up to help them as much as possible, to help them get more clients and to help them make a more profitable service available to their clients as well. So lots going on behind the scenes, guys. Really excited about it. Thank you again for joining me today, and look forward to seeing you again on another webinar. Any more help and support that you need, then please reach out and let me know. All right, guys, amazing webinar. Thank you so much indeed for your time, and I will look forward to seeing you very soon. Take care.